To Wall Street now as President Donald Trump presses oil companies to re-enter Venezuela. Investors weigh what it could mean for the global economy. The Dow closing just moments ago 237 points higher. So let's bring in CBS News MoneyWatch correspondent Kelly O'Grady live for us from the New York Stock Exchange. Kelly, if oil production ramps up in Venezuela, could that impact oil prices here?
It may. So the way to think about this is oil is bought and sold. It's priced on the global market, and it's simple economics. When you have more supply but the same amount of demand, you would see prices go down. Now, the flip side of this, though, is that, for these oil companies to actually go in and revitalize that industry, this is going to take years. It's going to take billions of dollars. So the oil price impact, and therefore the price you pay at the pump, right? Because all of us are always thinking about gas prices, you wouldn't see an immediate impact there. More broadly, though, if you are thinking about what might happen to oil prices, nothing is happening in a vacuum, if you will, because of that global market piece. Just because you have more supply, it doesn't mean that demand is going to stay the same. You might see demand rise, or you might see what's happened over the past year or so, where you've seen demand come down, supply rise, and that's why you've seen oil prices continue to tick down. So the sort of easy answer to your question is yes, but the more complicated is there's so many different factors at play. Today alone, oil prices rose close to 2% because there's concern about what's happening in Iran. So many different things that factor into that oil price.
And it's worth noting, Kelly, most of the American oil companies stopped drilling in Venezuela years ago. Why did they leave, and what would they gain by going back?
Right. This is sort of the concern that we're hearing from companies. And I was listening to your conversation with Aaron a few minutes ago, and he laid it out. You had these oil companies operating in Venezuela before. Chevron, of course, still is to this day, but many had their assets seized. The oil in Venezuela was sanctioned. It wasn't profitable to continue operating. There's so many different factors. And so that's the concern, that would something like that happen in the future? And if you have companies deciding to invest tons of money when oil is at a price right now where it doesn't really make sense to put a bunch of money in because it's not super profitable right now, or it wouldn't be made back for quite some time in the future, the question becomes, why do it? Well, one argument is oil prices can change quickly. And the other argument is that Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world. So if you are able to get a foothold, and you do believe that the safety and the security is going to be vital in the long term, you're going to want to see, or oil companies are going to want a piece of that pie.
Kelly O'Grady, thank you so much.